I've been with Akamai for quite a while, and for those that don't know us, we're frequently the system that all the users on the internet talk to before they talk to those critical applications that are out there where the fraud occurs, or that application that we're trying to protect. And because of that, we're entrusted with this amazing vantage point to try and help everyone sift between what's desired and undesired interactions, in all the ways that's been evolving and morphing as the threats and as the fraud patterns change over time. And we try and use that big visibility to help everyone do it a little more confidently, a little faster, a little more effectively.
Xeon is a leader in fraud prevention technology. We look forward to one day being as well known as Akamai. Our background is in developer-centric fraud prevention, and we've expanded to build a platform that's able to address the needs across the board, from the smaller developer-centric environments all the way up to large enterprise. And we focus on data enrichment-centric solutions as well as transaction monitoring capabilities. And as we've been evolving, obviously the AI topic has been super important, as well as all of the capabilities of ML and hybrid decisioning.
AI and ML are tools, right? I always start there. They're not the answer themselves. They're something you use to get to the answer. And in particular, they're incredibly helpful to help us all go faster, right? Get to an answer faster, to be more confident in what that answer is, be able to better explain the decision that's made. And if we look at cyber fraud, it's just a discipline, right? It's a continuous learning mission. I explained it to my mother as I'm in the business of building 10-foot walls. There are people that then build 11-foot ladders. We build a 12-foot wall. Somebody comes back with a 13-foot ladder. And that's the profession that we've entered into. And it's about how fast can you detect the need for the higher wall? How can you figure out what the new ladder looks like? How can you separate that from the interactions that you do want to have?
So I think the problem set is relatively consistent and has been present as long as we've had computer-assisted decisions, that you want to focus on data minimization strategies so that you're being as privacy sensitive as possible. You want to avoid obvious sources of bias, which becomes much harder the more opaque your models and decisioning frameworks become. And the counter to that is always going to be more explainability and visibility. And I think that when you look at these frameworks, you have to make choices on which groups are doing the best work. I think in this world, it's always useful to focus on the minimum viable compliance, the minimum viable regulatory friction, but it's important to not ignore it.
The incentives for the adversaries are lucrative, right? It's typically somebody that has a financial incentive at the end, and they'll keep innovating until they find success. So I'd say the macro thing we see is the quantity of activity is up. If we just go to looking at automated traffic across the internet, which is typically how people try to perpetrate fraud and abuse at scale, our typical customer saw something like 80% increase year over year in just the volume of automated abuse coming into the sites.